Hi guys, it's Becky, and I want to make some more earrings today. Today we're gonna do some fall flavored earrings. Like we did the autumn inspired earrings a couple of weeks ago where we did fall leaf as the inspiration. But for this, I want the flavors of fall and the flavors of autumn, and I want that to be my inspiration. So I've got a couple of different bead kits, bead boxes that I'm going to be pulling from for this, but we are going to be doing some wire working. So I just want to get the tools out of the way real quick before we get started on our beads. And I am going to be using all of these tools today when I'm making my earrings. I'm going to be using my 6-step bail making pliers. I'm going to be using my round nose pliers. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, and I have some nylon jaw pliers that I'm going to be using while we are making some things. The wire that I'm going to be using, it's going to vary. One of the ones that I'm going to be doing is with this green soft flex wire. But if you don't have green wire, you could do like the same thing with like some bronze wire or some antique copper or something like that. So I'm just going to have these handy for the other earrings that we're going to make too. And then I've got some silver and some gold if I need to grab those. So we've got those handy. I've also got some head pins because I might be using these. And there was just some eye pins I grabbed. Might use these, might not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I have some ideas of some things that I'm going to make, and I've got some other ideas that I'm going to let percolate while I'm deciding what to pull out of the boxes. Now, the first thing that I'm going to go into is this box of Halloween-y fall beads that I grabbed from the Bead Box Bargains site. And I'm just going to grab a couple of these bright orange pumpkin beads because I'm going to be doing some wire wrapping with these. They have them in other colors. And after I show you what I'm doing with these, I'll show you the other color and how that looks there. I'm going to grab a couple of these owls. This is not wanting to focus. There we go. A couple of these owls in the antique bronze. And I'm going to grab a couple of these rustic flower beads, these little owl beads, and I think, let me just grab them out, see how I feel about them. I may use them in these designs and I might not, but these kind of clear but with a gold coating melon beads. And some of these carnelian rounds. I love these flavors together. We're thinking about pumpkin spice lattes and spiced apple cider flavors. Pumpkin pie maybe, some apple turnovers, that sort of thing. The second box that I want to pull some things out of is this Welcome to the Overlook, or Greetings from the Overlook Hotel box. This was one of the more recent Jesse James bead boxes, but look at this and tell me that that is not coffee flavored. So I'm going to grab these barrel beads and these amber drops, and I think I want a couple of these there, and maybe, yeah, here we go. Let's do an earring with some spiced apple cider bits with these, and yeah, I'm gonna get these English cut or simple cut. I think that's simple cut in English. Beads. There we go. So you've got some beads from this that are going to give me some fall flavors. And we wouldn't have a pumpkin spice latte make without this coffee time bead box from Sam's Bead Box. This was it September? No, it was the August one. And these are definitely pumpkin flavored. So I'm going to grab a couple of these. Great. More rustic flowers. I love these. I'm going to grab a couple of these because they are so cool looking. And I think I want to try and do something with these guys. Yeah. Let me put those together and let me grab some of these smaller beads. Because I think what I want to do is to wrap the coin bead with some of these other beads. So I'm going to grab these pinch beads and these tiny 3mm fire polish beads. That is what we're going to do. I'm just going to pull them all out of here. Might not use all of them, but I might use some of them. And I think that's going to be enough for us for some fall flavor earrings. We'll be able to make a few of them, I think. 6 or 7, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how far we get with these. All right, so let me set some of these guys aside so they are not in the way while we're doing our things. Getting things all distracted. Just gonna put these up here. I've got some ear wires already made for this. All right. So we will get to these in a little bit. And I'm just going to do one earring for each of these, and then I'll do the second earring after, like I usually do. All right. All of my owls and things, I'm going to move all of these up here. Perfect. And we're going to start with our bright orange pumpkin beads. And they're squatter than melon beads. So they look like pumpkins. I'm going to scooch in a little bit closer because I am going to be doing some wire wrapping and I'd like you to be able to see what I'm doing. So they've got this hole in the middle, and the hole will fit 22 gauge wire. Probably would do 20 gauge as well, but I'm just going to use 22 gauge for this, and I've got this green color soft flex wire. I'm just using my finger to straighten out this little kink here in the end. And for this, we are going to make a pumpkin stem with a leaf and a curlicue. So I'm just going to cut off about 7.5 inches. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? My flush cutters, because those are a very important part of working with wire. All right, so let's make sure that we are flush cut here at the end. And we are, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this 7 inches of 22 gauge wire into a head pin. And I have been wanting to work on my head pin, so this is a great opportunity. I'm going to need my nylon jaw pliers, my, what are they called? Chain nose pliers and my round nose pliers for this one. And I'm just going to grab right here at the tip in these pliers. I'm going to grab that in here. I'm just going to start twisting. I'm going to twist it around here like a spiral. See how it's twisting around. And the other end is going up there. I'm going to keep moving around this edge until I pass that cut edge over there. Now that I've passed that, I'm going to hold on to this fairly gently. I'm just going to bend this up that direction to make it kind of a golf club. And now I'm going to bend the opposite end over and thread it through this hole. And gently, gently, gently. Kind of feeding it through. And this is the part where I need my nylon jaw pliers. I'm going to hold on to it here on that end. I'm going to grasp the opposite end with my chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to pull until that goes through that end. See how it makes kind of a little rose on there? Gently just squish this flat a little bit. I'm not going to press too hard. Now I've got a little bottom that will hold. I got a little kink up here from where I was grasping that with my pliers. I'm going to just get rid of that. There we go. Now I can drop my pumpkin bead on here. And it's going to hang out right there. Now from the top of the bead to about 4 centimeters, right there, it's about 2 inches. I'm going to take this spot right here and I'm going to bend over my wire fairly sharply. It doesn't have to be a super sharp bend. It's okay if it's got a little bendy bend. And then while I'm grasping it, I'm going to just bend my wire this way, and grasp it from the other side, and bend it that way to make a teeny little leaf shape. And now that I've got my leaf shape and my wires going at an angled direction, I'm just going to turn this so that these wrap around each other. And I'm not looking for a neat tidy wrap. You guys can look for a neat tidy wrap if you want, but it's going to get a little wonky the closer I get to my melon bead. I just want some texture and a thicker piece of wire up here at the top, because this is going to be, and I'm just wrapping this around down here. We're going to wrap around this part here, so it doesn't really need to look that great. But I'm going to give it a little bit of a bend right there. And then I'm going to grab my 6-step bell making pliers, and I'm going to use the second largest hole, or not hole, bail. You can use round nose pliers if you don't have 6-step bell making pliers. You'll probably want to use about the middle of that barrel if you do that. I'm grasping this really gently because the wire is twisted. I don't want to break it at any point, but that makes a nice little loop. And again, I'm grasping gently. I'm just going to bend this wire around there. push this leaf flat against the top of my pumpkin. Now on the other side, I have this wire here. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I am going to make a coil starting at about 1/3 of the way down the barrel. And I'm just going to wrap around this. All the way to the end. You can adjust this coil after it's been coiled. Bring that in a little bit more, that end. And you can also move this. There we go. So now I have a little pumpkin with a little coil and a little leaf. And I can attach it as a dangle to another earring, or I can just attach it to an ear wire, and I can have myself a little pumpkin earring. And I just wanted to show you, I used some really bright colors here. Hopefully you guys can see it better, but you can use more muted colors as well. Like this was with the more clear colored pumpkin bead and some antique copper wire. I really love these. But yeah, I wanted to show this to you. This is one of the main things that we were going to do today. So if this is all you wanted to see, hey, thanks for hanging out. But if you want to see some more, we'll make some more. We'll make some more earrings. Okay, let's scooch back a little bit now that we're not working totally with that wire. I just wanted to make sure that you guys could see what we were doing. I'm going to set these next to here so that we can pull them out when we need them. And let's see which ones we want to do next. I know. Let's do these flower coin beads. And we're going to have a hole that goes top to bottom on these. And let's get our get some of these out here. All right. Now, because there's going to be 2 of these, I want to make sure that I have enough for both earrings. So I'm just going to use half of what I've got for each of these so that I have enough for the other earring, because I don't know how many beads I'm going to use yet. I usually don't know until I start popping beads onto my wire when I do these wrapped things. Oh, hold on. Yes, here we go. Okay, so that's going to be half of those. All right, sorry, I'm doing more sorting. I wonder if I'm even going to use these. I might just use the darker beads. I think I'm just going to use the darker beads. Yeah. Okay. All right, now I definitely will have enough for both earrings if I do it that way. I might not use those. I probably am just going to use both of these. Alright, so I've got my coin bead, I've got my pinch beads, I've got my fire polish beads, and I have about 7 inches of antique copper wire. I'm just going to measure from the bottom of this wire up here just to the top, and I am going to make a wire wrapped loop right here at the top of this. I'm grabbing my round nose pliers. I know I usually like to use my 6-step bail making pliers, but these were right there where I was looking for them. And I'm going to wrap using the longer side of this around that stem about 3 times, and this wrap does not need to be pretty because you're going to wrap around it again after we add the rest of our beads. All right, so this part we don't need our bead on here for yet. But I am going to start stringing the cream colored and dark mocha covered beads onto here. It's these 3mm fire polish that came in that Sam's bead box. And in a minute, I'm gonna see if this is enough beads or if it's too many, because we are gonna want to bend it around our coin bead. After we get that on there. Let me see, I'm just gonna grab one more of these. I'm just gonna set this down into the top and bend this around. It looks like I could use a couple more. So I'm going to go ahead and set that down so it's not swinging around, falling around all over the place. All right. Let's see if that's enough. So I'd like for this, perfect, meets right there. Now I'm going to wrap this a couple of times. And now to keep this from spinning or falling out too much, because I want it to stay within this frame, I'm going to make a little coil and kind of press it here against the coin bead. So to make a coil, I'm going to take my round nose pliers and just here at the very end of it, start curving this around. And now I'm going to switch over to my chain nose pliers and I'm going to grasp this and kind of just push my thumb into it with the wire gently, slowly. All right. That is going to be another pair of earrings. I'll set this one over here so that I can make the other one later. So far, we've made our pumpkin. We did a lot of this with like the wire wrapping. That's fine. Let's do something that is just a little bit simpler. Let's grab some of these beads. These are from the Jesse James bead box, the most recent one. And I grabbed these amber drops and these orange oh, what are they called? The things with the thing. Roundels, there we go. And then these ceramic beads, basically coffee mugs. And we didn't have spacers in there that I wanted to use except for some of those other ones. But I got this little pack of spacers like a while ago. I haven't used them, but they have this great antique copper color. And I'm just going to grab a couple of these kind of to go on either side of my ceramic bead. And it's just some daisy spacers. That's all that is. So I'm going to grab these to use this with. We're going to do the eye pins and a couple of head pins. So I'm just going to grab this head pin and this amber drop, and I'm going to make a simple loop with it. So to do that, you want to bend over the top, cut off everything except for about 1 centimeter of your wire, and use your round nose pliers to kind of bend that end back in a loop up at the top of your drop. And now let's get one of these daisy spacers, the ceramic bead, and another daisy spacer, and our orange bead up here. And for this, I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. Cut off everything except for about 1 centimeter. Use my round nose pliers to bend this back. Whoop. Where are you going, buddy? And now I'm going to attach my drop to the bottom of this by opening this loop at the bottom. Swing it open, attach the drop I just made, and close it. And this is another pumpkin spice flavored latte looking earring. Oof. I think my loop at the top was not big enough. That's okay because it's a simple loop, so I can swing it open, make sure that's closed, and loop it onto the earring that way. We made that with the gratings from the Overlook Hotel box. Set these guys over here so that I can make another one after this. Where are we going? I am all over the place with this. How about some owls? Let's do some owls. And I'm going to use this is like cardamom spice. That's what I'm thinking of when I look at these rustic flowers. I'm going to grab the vintage bronze wire for this one because it'll go with our bronze owls. And I'm just going to do a couple of wrapped loops. And then I'm going to have this guy there and then that one. So a couple of wrapped loops. I'm going to bend this back about 2 inches down and then bring it around. Keep going. Now I've got myself a little circle. Give it a squish and then open it to the side and hook on my owl. I'm gonna wrap once, twice, 3 times an earring. Like this. Very fall. Very owl. Alright, so now I'm going to want my owl to face forward, so I want my loop to go that way. You can always twist your loops later, but the less stress I have to put on my wire, the better. So if we start with a good loop, or a loop in the right place, facing the right way, then I don't have to change it up later. I'm just gonna keep wrapping until I can't. Cut off my little extra guy over here. Took our end in. Now we have a little cardamom owl. vintage bronze colors. Nice. All right, let's set this guy over here, and maybe we'll do our spiced apple cider make. All right. Now I grabbed these big chunky spacers out of that Welcome to the Overlook Hotel. These two, like they're the same color as apple juice. And then we've got these simple cuts for these, and I think I want to do some more wire wrapping. All right, so let's take 7 inches, 7.5 inches, something like that, of this 22 gauge anti-copper wire, and I'm just going to make a loop up here at the top. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it's going to be a wrapped loop. So we go back, bring it around. Once it's got a roundness to it, we can bring this the rest of the way around. And since I am not attaching this to anything, I can just complete my loop, wrap it. And my wrap doesn't need to be tidy because I'm going to be wrapping over it. Okay. Now, we're going to want a little bit of room, but not too much room between these beads. So I'm putting on this like citrine colored one first, then our apple cider color, and we got some spices here. So what I'm going to do with this one is about part of the way down here. Let's give it a little extra room. Not too much, but some. There you go. I think that's going to be enough. Not the whole thing. Just part of it, because I want the space between the hole and the edge. I want to be able to fit that in there, but also have just a teensy weensy bit of space between these beads. So now I'm going to bend this kind of at a 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be precise. And I'm going to thread this chunky spacer on here. And then I'm just going to push with my thumb so that it matches the angle of the side of this. Let's get a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. See? So it matches that angle. And then here on the other side, I'm going to use my finger and push it in the opposite direction so that these cross up here at the top. Now this is still going in this direction with this angle. So right here where they meet, I should have done this before I pushed the other one over. Just going to give it a little bend to kind of straighten that out. I'm just going to use my finger, do a couple of wraps. There. And now I want to wrap around this bead, so I'm going to pinch my spacer and this bead together, and then just use my fingers to wrap around this bead. Bring it up the other side, wrap it around the core once, and I want to wrap it around this bead as well. So I'm going all the way across like that. I'm going to wrap a few times, and I'm just going to do kind of a messy big fat wrap right up here. And I'm going to take my loop near the top. I'm just going to give it a little twist so that it's facing the direction that I want it to. And that's the back, so let's cut our excess wire. Smoosh that end in. And now I have myself a spiced apple cider flavored earring. I mean, don't eat the jewelry. Don't eat the beads. It's not actually flavored, but that's what it's making me think of for that. All right, I'm gonna set this aside so I can make some more in just a little bit. And let's get these out. Now, these beads did not come in the Sam's bead box. They were actually in the surprise or the mystery ceramic bead, I guess, mixture thing that I got from Soft Flex. So these are different, but I think they are gonna make a nice little accompaniment for a little pumpkin spice latte. I'm gonna pull out, I think, the bronze. No, actually, let's go with the copper. I'm feeling the copper. I just really am feeling the copper. And because we've got such big holes on our ceramic beads here, I'm gonna grab a couple larger spacers from my little mix here, and it's gonna be these larger daisies, just to make it a little bit easier for us when we're doing our things. In fact, maybe I want these on a head pin. Yeah, let's see. I like it. I like it. Let's make a simple loop up here on the top of this. I think these are going to be fairly similar. It's just, since I've got them handy, eye pins for these. I'm going to put on this check glass bead, the rustic flower bead, and let's make ourselves a little simple loop up here. I'm just going to join this one with that down here at the bottom. There we go. Now I've got cozy flannel blankets. That's what we're doing with this one. Cozy flannel blankets. And that is, let's see, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 earrings. Let me pull them out real quick so we can recap them. I have my wire wrapped pumpkin earrings. I've got my cappuccino earrings. I've got some pumpkin spice lattes. I've got actually a couple of them, I think. We've got our spiced apple cider. And then we've got a cozy flannel blanket with pumpkin spice lattes. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, can't forget our cardamom owl. And let's see. Should we do one more? Should we go ahead and do these owls with some carnelians? Maybe. Yep, let's do it. I'm just going to grab a couple of these head pins. We're just going to make a really, really simple owl and carnelian drop that we can attach right to an earring. Just like that. Just sweet and simple, because sometimes you just want a really, really small statement sort of an earring. So let's make ourselves a little simple loop. And attach an earwire to it. Come on, buddy. All right, so that's 7 earrings that we made with our fall flavors. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make up the rest of them, and I'll come right back and we'll talk about them some more. Okay, so now we've made everything. Just to recap, we did some wire wrapping around these pumpkin beads with some green wire, but it also looks great with some copper wire. If you wanted something that was a little more monotone, we made some super, super simple owl earrings, and then some other owl earrings here. And these all came from the Bargain Bead Box, or Bead Box Bargains. And I'm trying to decide which I like better, the rustic flower on top or this gold frosted melon bead on top. And I think I'm leaning towards this one, or I might just leave them opposites like this, because I think that's kind of fun. Sometimes you don't need to have totally matching earrings. You can have things that are a little different. And then from the Coffee Time Sam's Bead Box, I made these beaded wire frame and coin bead earrings. I did a little more wire wrapping with those. And then these ones, and I actually decided when I was making the other one, this is the one that I made with you guys. I decided when I was making the other one that I kind of like this rustic flower bead below this table cut one. And that's the cool thing about using simple loops, is that you can change your mind afterwards. Like this one I'd have to redo, which is why I'm still trying to decide which I want on that end. So I'm just gonna move that over here, loop it around the other side. I'm just changing it up because I decided I like the other order better after I had made the first ones. Now I can just that together. And there we go. See, I like this one a little bit better. And these were from the Sam's Bead Box. I think it was the August one. I think it was the August one. Yeah, it was the coffee time one that Danielle Wicks had done. And then from the most recent Jesse James bead box, it was the Greetings from the Overlook Hotel one. I've got some pumpkin spice latte flavored ones. And then some spiced apple cider ones. And these are all inspired by the flavors of fall. So we have some pumpkin flavors, we have some cardamom flavors, we have some latte flavors, we have apple cider flavors. And I really hope you enjoyed the fall earrings. And I hope you're having a really great weekend. I've had the windows open all day just because it's such a perfect temperature here in Texas. It's finally cool enough that spending time outside is wonderful and glorious. So I'm going to go do that for the rest of the day. But I hope you guys are also having a really wonderful time. And I will see you later. Bye.